The stars held their breath. Across the vast stretches of the Milky Way, civilizations whispered tales of humans, fragile, tenacious, unpredictable. They were a species that had, against all odds, climbed from the mud of a minor planet to stride among the stars. For centuries, humanity had been a curious anomaly in the galactic community, quick to forgive, eager to learn, and endlessly resilient. But no species would ever forget the moment when humans finally lost their patience. The turning point came quietly, as most great upheavals do. The Galactic Concord, an ancient council formed to mediate interstellar disputes, had long been aware of humanity's peculiar tolerance. Humans were the peacemakers, the mediators, the species willing to take the first step toward understanding. They endured slights, betrayals, and even outright aggression with a grace that baffled more warlike races. But patience, even for humans, had its limits. It began on the distant colony of Nova Terra, a lush planet on the edge of human-controlled space. The Taryx, a reptilian species known for their territorial greed, had long coveted the planet. They sent veiled threats and demands for annexation, but humanity's diplomats deflected them with calm reassurances and offers of cooperation. When the Taryx escalated to small-scale raids, humanity responded with increased security and renewed offers of dialogue. "They're testing us," Admiral Alara Kane said during a tense meeting of the United Earth Council. Her voice was steady, but her eyes burned with the frustration shared by many in the room. "They see our restraint as weakness. If we continue this way, they will push until we break." But the Council, bound by its commitment to peaceful resolution, hesitated. Humanity had built its reputation on its ability to resolve conflicts without resorting to war. To abandon that principle now would be to forsake a core part of their identity. The breaking point came a year later when the Taryx launched a full-scale assault on Nova Terra. Cities burned, millions died, and the Taryx broadcast their triumph across the galaxy. They mocked humanity's inaction, proclaiming their dominance and daring humanity to respond. For the first time in centuries, humanity's leaders stood united in their rage. The president of the United Earth Council, a steely-eyed woman named Saria Malik, addressed the galaxy in a transmission that would be etched into history. "To the Taryx and all who watch," she began, her voice cold and unyielding, "we have endured your provocations, your raids, and now your unprovoked slaughter. We sought peace. You sought conquest. Let this be your only warning, humanity's patience is not infinite. You wanted to see what happens when we stop holding back. You will." What followed was a campaign the likes of which the galaxy had never seen. Humanity unleashed its full technological and strategic might. Fleets of sleek, deadly ships surged from human-controlled space, striking with a precision that left even the most seasoned galactic strategists in awe. The Taryx, arrogant and overconfident, were utterly unprepared. But it wasn't just the ferocity of humanity's response that shook the galaxy, it was their unity. For the first time, every human colony, faction, and ideology aligned with a single purpose. Scientists developed weapons that pushed the boundaries of known physics. Engineers built ships capable of outmaneuvering anything in the Taryx arsenal. Soldiers fought with a determination that was almost terrifying in its intensity. The Taryx homeworld fell within a year. Humanity's fleets surrounded the planet, cutting off all escape and bombarding strategic targets with surgical precision. When the Taryx leader finally surrendered, groveling for mercy, humanity did something unexpected: they spared them. "We are not like you," President Malik said during the surrender negotiations. "We do not seek conquest or destruction. But know this, if you ever threaten us again, there will be no mercy." The galaxy watched in stunned silence as humanity withdrew its forces, leaving the Taryx humbled but alive. But the message was clear: humanity was no longer the forgiving, endlessly patient species they had been. They had shown the galaxy the cost of testing their resolve, and it was a lesson no one would forget. Over the following decades, humanity's reputation transformed. They were still the peacemakers, still the mediators, but now there was an edge to their diplomacy. When humanity spoke, the galaxy listened, not out of respect, but out of fear. And while humans mourned the loss of their innocence, they understood that it was a necessary sacrifice. The galaxy had changed, and so had humanity. They remained a force for good, but they were no longer to be underestimated. The stars, once again, held their breath. But the Taryx's humiliation was only the beginning. Whispers of dissent and rebellion began to spread through their empire. Subjugated races that had long suffered under Taryx rule took humanity's retaliation as a spark of hope. Revolts erupted on dozens of worlds, and the once mighty Taryx found themselves battling insurrection on every front. Humanity, true to their word, did not intervene directly. Instead, they offered covert aid to resistance movements, supplying arms, intelligence, and even sanctuary for those fleeing persecution. If we're to ensure lasting peace, we cannot allow the Taryx to rebuild their war machine, Admiral Kane explained during a council session. We don't need to fight their battles, but we can make sure they lose them. Meanwhile, humanity turned its attention inward. The war with the Taryx had revealed weaknesses in their own systems, vulnerabilities in supply chains, outdated technologies, and the fragility of alliances. Humanity's leaders vowed never to be caught unprepared again. A new era of innovation and cooperation dawned, with massive investments in research, education, and defense. One of the most significant advancements came in the form of the Sentinel network, a vast array of automated defense stations and surveillance drones spread across human space. These Sentinels, equipped with advanced AI and weaponry, ensured that no enemy could approach undetected. The network became a symbol of humanity's newfound resolve, peaceful, but vigilant. As humanity strengthened its position, other species began to take notice. Delegations from across the galaxy sought alliances with the humans, hoping to gain their favor or at least avoid their wrath. Even former rivals approached with cautious overtures of friendship. The Galactic Concord, once dismissive of humanity's concerns, now regarded them as a cornerstone of interstellar stability. But humanity's rise was not without its challenges. The very power that had earned them respect also bred fear and resentment. Some species whispered that humanity had become the very thing they once opposed, a dominant force capable of imposing its will on the galaxy. Conspiracies and propaganda painted humans as ruthless conquerors in disguise, waiting for the right moment to strike. The tension came to a head when the Xyrak Consortium, a powerful trading alliance, accused humanity of monopolizing key resources. Diplomatic efforts to resolve the dispute faltered, and the Xyrak began rallying other species to their cause. Fearing a new coalition against them, humanity's leaders worked tirelessly to de-escalate the situation. We cannot allow fear to dictate our actions, President Malik said during an emergency council meeting. We must show them that our strength is not a threat, but a shield. Let our actions speak louder than their accusations. In a bold move, humanity opened its borders to the Xyrak and their allies, inviting them to witness the transparency of their operations. They shared technology, offered trade agreements, and even proposed joint scientific endeavors. The gesture, though met with skepticism, gradually began to ease tensions. The Xyrak, faced with humanity's genuine desire for cooperation, withdrew their accusations and sought a new alliance. Through these trials, humanity learned to balance strength with diplomacy, power with humility. They became a guiding force in the galaxy, not through domination, but through example. Their patience, once thought lost, had been tempered into something stronger, a resolve to protect not just themselves, but the fragile peace of the stars. And so, humanity endured. They built a legacy not of conquest, but of resilience and hope. The stars no longer held their breath in fear, but in awe, as humanity charted a course toward a future where no species would ever forget the cost of testing their patience, and the rewards of earning their trust.